Hey everybody, Will Martin, the nurse scientist, and I've got a news article here that I want to share with you. And let's take a look at it here. If I can get it going. There we go. And this is it. Long Island emergency room closes due to nursing shortage. A Long Island emergency room on Monday announced its temporary closure due to a reported nursing shortage. A reported nursing shortage. According to a local Fox News affiliate station, Mount Sinai's Long Beach Emergency Department made the announcement stating that many of its healthcare workers who were working on a temporary religious exemption were suspended on Monday after failing to get vaccinated against COVID-19. Officials noted that the decision to close the healthcare facility ultimately came after all other options were exhausted. The city of Long Beach shared a notice on Facebook on Monday detailing that the closure could last up to a month. This is completely unacceptable, especially as we move into the holiday season. The administration is working with all parties to come up with a solution that results in the emergency room remaining open. In the interim, the administration, our police, and fire departments will do all they can to ensure our residents remain safe and can be efficiently transported to medical care should the need arise. The hospital is reportedly in the process of recruiting more staff members who are vaccinated against the coronavirus. So, what I'd like to know is, where are they going to get these people that are vaccinated? And, are we just going to all of a sudden create more people to come into the hospital and reopen the emergency department? Let's think about it. It's nurses, it's physicians, it's PAs, nurse practitioners, it's lab techs, it's LPNs, it's, everyone. Where are they going to get these people from? So, very, very interesting. Okay, and here's another interesting article that I'll share with you. And this is: nationwide nursing shortage is leading to big boosts in salary. Nearly 2 years into a global pandemic, nurses have never been more important. That may be why they're also getting bigger paychecks. A study of 60,000 nurses' salaries by Premier, a company that analyzes healthcare data, found that the average annual U.S. nursing salary rose 4% during the first 9 months of 2021 to $81,376, according to the Wall Street Journal. And that doesn't even include signing bonuses, which can average $15,000, according to Incredible Health, a hiring service for healthcare workers. By comparison, there was a 3.3% uptick in nurses' salaries in 2020 and an increase of 2.6% in 2019. So it is true that this is what I'm seeing even in my hospital. The thing is, the hospital I work at, being that it's a state facility, is kind of stuck as far as what it can offer. The private hospitals can certainly offer a lot more than the state hospital that I work at. Says here, the higher salaries are largely due to the high demand for caregivers, high turnover rates, and worker fatigue, according to an industry expert. In one particular dramatic example, Jefferson Health, a healthcare network operating in southern New Jersey and the greater Philadelphia area, boosted compensation this past May for its 8,000 nurses by an average of 10%, according to Dr. Kate Fitzpatrick. She said they did it to make sure they wouldn't lose its healthcare workers to better paying jobs and to help combat staff burnout. So the thing is, if you're burned out and you're making 10% more, does that make you less burned out? I don't know. In my career as a nurse leader, to give a 10% increase is pretty unprecedented. The nurse turnover rate at hospitals, which includes nurses who left their jobs, rose 2.8% in 2020 alone to an 18.7% annual rate. That's a lot of people leaving. It's no secret that the pandemic has been brutal for nurses and other healthcare workers, from the risk of exposure to COVID-19 to the emotional burden of serving as proxy family members for isolated patients. The horrors of COVID-19 and hectic hospitals with limited hands on deck have understandably led many nurses to leave. Around 92% of 6,500 critical care nurses believe the pandemic has depleted nurses and will cut their careers short. Okay, well, let's talk about this a little bit here, because I don't know. I think this goes back to something that I was saying yesterday, that I think schools of nursing are pushing students through, getting them to graduate. And I'm not saying that they're not qualified. I mean, they have to pass the NCLEX in order to become a nurse. But I don't know if they're fully prepared for what lies ahead until they graduate and they get out and they start working. And then they realize, oh my God, this is hard, or this is emotionally difficult, or I don't like the hours, or I wish I didn't have to work weekends and Christmas, or whatever the case may be. But I think a lot of folks that get into the business wind up leaving after a couple of years, and it doesn't have a whole lot to do with COVID. It's just simply that the job itself just doesn't really suit what they're doing. I mean, the thing is, I've known a lot of people, and this is, physicians as well as NPs, PAs, nurses, everybody. A lot of their contemporaries work in jobs that are 9 to 5. Maybe they're engineers or something like that. But, they can get out of work at 5 o'clock and they can join the volleyball league, or they can go play golf, or they can do whatever. And they're not working the long shifts, the afternoon, the evening, the overnight shifts. And I think a lot of people in healthcare see that and say, you know what, I don't really want to work these hours. Now, I think you contrast that with, if you go back 20 or 30 years, people that went through a nursing program got a good taste of what it was going to be like during their program, because a lot of the programs were diploma programs. That's what I went through, as a 3-year diploma. And actually, the third year, you were essentially free labor in the hospital, but you got a pretty good idea of what you were up against and what you were going to be doing and what the hours were like. And if you wanted to bail, you typically bailed before you graduated. I mean, as an example, we started our program in 1987 with 63 people. We graduated 17. So that gives you an idea of the attrition that we experienced. But those 17 that graduated, a lot of them are still working today. So I don't know. I mean, it's anecdotal. I don't have a lot of evidence to support it, but it's just my thought that, maybe nurses today aren't quite prepared for what they're going to be doing when they graduate. In any case, there's money to be made right now. And so for anybody who's going into nursing, it's probably going to stay this way for a while. One would hope anyway that at least the salaries will stay up. The thing that I wonder is, where's the money coming from to pay all of this extra? And where was it before? And I guess the thing is, will it be there next year? I don't know. So that's it. I'll get back and give you some more news here coming up maybe tomorrow. Okay? Have a good night. Thanks. Bye.